What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to a brand new episode of SIBZ, West Coast, East Coast siblings. Guys, we got the first episode of the final season of Vikings. This is season 6. We're going to talk about everything that happened and the 3 big takeaways from the episode. Before we get started, though, if you're new here and you like talking about your favorite movies and TV shows, consider subscribing and click the bell so you can find out when we drop more episodes. Also, the season finale of the Apple TV series C with Jason Momoa. That comes on Friday, so I'll be making a video on that as well. Again, click the bell so you can stay up to date. And with that, let's get into it. So we're going to get to the main 3 takeaways, but before we get into that, just my initial reactions. Season 6 is under a lot of pressure to perform. Not only is it the final season, but seasons 5 and 4 were criticized since we lost Ragnar. People just weren't really happy with the direction the show was going. I gotta be honest, I was pretty impressed. I mean, they had 2 episodes, 2 hours. They packed it with enough action while building the story. I think they have a great through line. We'll talk about that a little bit later, but I don't think they could have kicked it off much better. So the 2 episodes focus on 3 main characters, which is Bjorn, LAGERTHA, and Ivar. That leads me to the first big takeaway, which is Bjorn is extremely conflicted about the type of ruler he wants to be. I can't even remember the amount of times during the first 2 episodes where he's asking friends and family, what kind of king am I going to be? What kind of king does this make me? What kind of king would do this or do that? Which is kind of a good thing. I mean, you can tell it means a lot for him to be a good king. And while he respects his dad, I think he wants to add his own flavor to ruling. He wants to make it his own. I'm not going to get into details because you guys have seen the episode, but King Harold, who at one point saved his life, comes back asking for a favor. Bjorn is really conflicted about whether he wants to help or not. And while King Harold did save his life at one point, I really just don't trust this. It's just got sabotage written all over it, and his mom warned him, and I don't think he's going to take that advice, and that's actually going to backfire in my opinion. I mean, she told him as much. She said this guy can't be trusted, but I think he's got to learn from his own failures, but I definitely think he's going to regret going and helping King Harold, which is what I think he's going to do. Speaking of LAGERTHA, we get into the second big takeaway from these 2 episodes, and that is LAGERTHA, and this is kind of going to take me to my first big prediction for the season. LAGERTHA is battle worn. She is so tired. She's ready to retire. I think it's a really great plot line that after all her success and triumph, she just wants to go back home. She wants to get that feeling of home, back on a simple farm when she was with Ragnar and with Bjorn when he was just a kid. She's done with the bloodshed. She's done with the politics. She's done with trying to rule a city and, like she said, being a public figure. Honestly, it makes total sense. I mean, it's been a long run for her. Now, getting into my prediction, there's a point where she buries her sword, and who really believed that was going to last long? In fact, in the preview for the next episode, we see her taking the sword up again. But my prediction is, guys, because this is the final season, I think it's going to end in LAGERTHA's death. I just don't think she can resist the fight. If she had decided to live her life out there on the farm, she might have lived, even though some of the traders had spotted her out there while they were in the woods as well. I think her picking up that sword and defending her family, defending her farm, is ultimately what's going to end her life. LAGERTHA's a great character, definitely top 3, but, I think this would be a decent way to tie up her story. And then finally, getting into the third big takeaway, we've got Ivar and his whole storyline. Now, they really waste no time setting all this up as Ivar quickly finds himself at the mercy of a Russian Viking by the name of Prince Oleg, and they honestly hit it off. Now, Prince Oleg likes Ivar for 2 reasons, I think. Number 1, obviously because he pities him as a cripple, but number 2, he doesn't really understand how this cripple could have not only been a king, but people were saying he was a god. So Ivar tells Oleg of all his troubles, and then they start devising a plan for Oleg to take over Kattegat and give Ivar a chance to take vengeance on his brothers for taking his throne. Quick side note for Oleg, this guy's got a whole bunch of family issues. So he's got 2 brothers, at least that we know of now. The first one, Askold, had an affair with his wife, which ends up in Oleg killing his wife, as we found out in the episode, via a strange puppet theater sequence. But the child that was born of that affair, at least as Oleg claims, is Oleg's son and the only true heir to the kingdom. So whoever has that kid possesses the keys to the kingdom. So I must have missed why he just got around to doing this, but he kills Askold and claims his son, Igor. News of this murder travels to his other brother, Deer, who then comes seeking the kid Igor as well. I'm not going to go into the details. You've already seen the episode. So regardless of what happens with Oleg, I mean, we kind of know what's going to happen. Once this army is amassed and they get all this firepower, Ivar's going to find a way to kill Prince Oleg. He is then going to seize that power and that kingdom. He might even kill the kid Igor. And it's all going to end in this epic battle between the sons of Ragnar. Now, I mean, while part of me wants to believe that this is just going to be the storyline for the first half of the season, I actually wouldn't be too mad if they carried this through the entire season. I mean, there's a lot of space in between where they are now and this battle taking place where they could gain new friends, they could lose loved ones, characters could die, and they could end it in such an epic way. I don't really see another satisfying way to end it. It started with Ragnar. I think it's got to end with his kids. So yeah, those are the biggest takeaways from the first 2 episodes of season 6 of Vikings. As always, guys, let's get to it in the comments down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts and predictions. Make sure you like this video if you like this video, and if you want to stay up to date on this series, you know what to do. Hit the subscribe button and click the bell so you don't miss any episodes. And once again, the season finale for Apple TV's new show with Jason Momoa, See, that comes out on Friday, so I'll be making a video on that. Again, if you don't want to miss, make sure you click the bell. Thank you guys, as always, for watching and subscribing, and I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.